All right, you're welcome to the Pipsoclock weekly market analysis for the week 16th of September, all the way to Friday. Today's Monday, all the way to Friday. All right, so we are going to be working with the following instruments. We have the EURUSD, we have the GBPUSD, we have gold, and of course, we are going to also look at use Bitcoin as a yardstick for what could be happening in the crypto world. All right, so we're going to be focused on these four instruments and four categories of instruments and see what the market holds this week for us to see where we can find opportunities to take advantage of the goings on in the market. So we're going to start with Euro USD, GBP USD, then we progress in that order. All right, so in the past 1 week, we all saw what happened with the US also, trying signaling intention, the Fed signaling intention to cut rates in the near future, and a lot happening from the Euro zone. The interest rate cuts coupled with the some activities around the press conference by the European Central Bank chair, and a whole lot of other things that actually form the center point or for the market's moves in the past 1 week. Now we saw Euro USD. This is what it formed last week, trading above all of the moving averages that we have: 200 period, 50 period, and 21 period on the weekly time frame, and of course the forming a southern doji after the what's it called here, the inverted what do you call this now? This is the inverted hammer, right? Okay, I think that inverted hammer. Yes. So now we are looking at the market that likely will try pushing up and maybe halted along the way, but we shall see to that as we delve into it to narrow it down to what we'll be having in the 4 hours time frame. Now, if you look at if you push this to monthly, you'll see that the month of September is half already, divided to half already, and if you look at what's going on, if what we have here is anything to go by, it's still struggling to repeat or even to beat the high that was recorded in August. That's for Euro USD. If you look at this, and if you compare the volumes, because that's going to help us with our decision making on Euro USD moving forward. If you look at the volume, you'll see that the volume for this instrument in August happened to be about 3 million. That's 5 million. Let's go back again. That's 3.5 million, right? And currently in the month, we are already halfway done in September, and we are seeing, I want to pick the moving average is disturbing this. I think I have to, okay, let's see if I can pick it. Okay, I'm almost okay. Okay, now if you, maybe I have to use the base. The volume for this month so far, okay, is 1.4 million compared to 3.5 million in August. If this is anything to go by, it's telling us something. It's passing across some information to us that most likely Euro may just meet its Waterloo around here before by the end of September. So because if it fails to beat that high, it might just find its way down. But let's watch and see. Don't conclude yet. Now, if you go down to the weekly time frame again. Now, last week, let's look at the volume for last week. Last week had about 678,000 in volume, and compared with the week before it, which was 750 in volume. So an indication that there was actually a loss of volume for the euro in the past week. And of course, this week I just started and we are on 20,000 already. So, and if you now, of course, look at the high of last week already is 11,018. Of course, the high of the week before beat it, and the low of last week also lower than that. So if you look at that, lower high and lower low suggests to us, though this week already has beaten the high of last week, but will it be sustained? That's the question. It may push up to go and even attempt the high of last week, of the week before last week, and you might just see a euro that will tumble down. You get it? So you need to watch out for that. So as you're trading, you have to be cautious and bear this in mind. So let's go on to look at our let's look at the euro in the light of 4 hours, where we will now base our decisions on. Though we will be having okay, let me see. So on the 4 hours time frame, we are going to be looking at the following: the weekly pivot points, all right, and the monthly pivot points. Now on the weekly pivot points, ignore these because these are going to be for Monday. All these pivot points that are here that are clustered around here. So we will just focus on the weekly and the monthly. So now if you look at this, and then we are bringing in a Fibonacci trading tool. So I switch over to the 4 hours again, and what we will be having here is based on this. So just mark the 1.1064 price level and 1.10090 for the monthly pivot point. So take note of those levels. Now let's pull in our Fibonacci retracement tool. Before we even get into that, there's a need to also check the market structure. Now if you notice here, you see that from here all the way to this point, the structure has been bullish from here to this, but from here it began to come down. So, and it's more like not strongly bearish, but it's sloping downwards. So what could be happening here is, of course, price finding its way around here. So that's why you need to also be bringing in the moving averages at this point. So as price is sloping down here, perhaps we should bring in the trend line too first. So if you look at that, a channel has been formed here. That's a down channel from here. So with that, we can say that the euro is in the channel is a downward channel. Okay, and so if you want to really, like we pointed out in the weekly time frame, we need to really pay attention to what's going on here, up here, right? And so if you are buying, you have to be cautious and wait for a good signal to maybe sell, like this that we have here. If price beats across over this, beats it, then it may likely be now heading up to this place here. Okay, here. Okay, and from there you now talk about another level up here. Okay, so you really have to watch it around here. But then our Fibonacci retracement tool, so how are we going to use it considering what is happening here? Because it's like neither here nor there, because down this way the bulls were in control in the market structure, but here, from here, the market structure, if you analyze from 1, 2, 3 weeks back, the market structure is down, though it's not with large volume. Okay, and so we are going to work with this from here. So if you look at if you bring in this is a bit dicey, and we have to form our opinion on it. Okay, so now if you look at this from here, let's look at the fall from here to here. So we can use that to run it. So we can look at it based on that. So based on that, we are looking at the Euro USD is around 50% retracement already. You get? So we may likely be looking at a signal to sell Euro USD around 1.11016 based on this here. Okay, so if we see a signal to do that, we can sell there. And of course, now remember we said points to watch out. You watch out for a move down to the weekly pivot points at 1.10604. So you may look at there for the first target, and of course the second target could be here, which is at 1.10090. Then if it presses further down, this is where it may culminate at 1.08784 before, which means by then you see it would have come to test the low that we had here that formed this structure up. You know, there was a structure that started even before this. Look at it. So that structure culminated up here and began to come down here. So that's what we have. And of course, if that happens, that means that the move from here will come to be tested whether it has been breached and broken, and then we see euro going sliding further downwards. Take note of that. Now, so that's what we're looking at. So for euro USD, around this place, 50% and even 38.2% at 11252. But looking out for price action signals around this place, that's the much you can take on euro USD. So I will remove that. Then we go on to GBPUSD. So on GBPUSD, we will also see a situation, similar situation. You can see lower low and lower high. So yeah, the week already has recorded a new low, but consider the volumes too. The volume here is 1.2 million, 1,263,158. The week before, 1,182. So last week's volume was higher than this the week before it. You can see that. So meaning the volume last week was higher than the volume last week was higher than the week before it. But then on market, if you look at the price structure here, you see that it's high, lower high, lower low. So an indication to me that also instead of it pushing up now, this might still see the GBPUSD rather coming down still, because at this up here now, the market is really trying to struggle. The buyers are still struggling to push it further up, but then can it be sustained? Okay, so we go over to 4 hours and see what we can make of that also. So considering what we have there now, we are also going to be looking at that. What we have here is a bit different from what we have on the euro, because the market structure here is still strongly bullish. What we just have here now is that the market going sideways and resting, choosing what next to do. So you have to really be very careful with this at this point. But still, if we just follow here, hoping that this can eventually become maybe a place where the price will try to make a little retreat ahead, then you can be working with that. Okay, we can work with that. However, we are going to do something here. So two things we'll do. We do both ways. So if this is anything we can hold and sustain, go by and sustain, then where GBPUSD is at currently, based on this tiny move from here to here, then this was in the past 3 weeks, then we might likely look out for a bearish signal here, price action around 38, because it has already beaten the 50% here. So we likely see look out for a signal around here that will tell us, hey, it's time to sell. Look out for a shooting star, look out for a bearish engulfing. That's on 4 hours. Okay, so you need to be watching out for this around here. Okay, so that's around 1.31650. In fact, around this area, we will be looking forward to sell. Of course, you just protect yourself by putting your stop loss above 3266, maybe 1.3267. Perhaps you just protect yourself then. Then you have also a situation where you now want to say, okay, just in case all this happen and it comes all the way here and then comes to this place, how about the bulls? Then the bulls can actually do something. Let us first off remove this. You've seen this one now, okay? 1.31650. So let's look at this now for the bulls. So in this case, we can look at the rise from here. It might even be further away. Let's see whether I can bring in. Okay, so we can actually take it all the way to this place here. Good. So based on this, the rise from here in August, 8th of August. Okay. So based on this, okay, to up here. So we are likely also going to now be looking at for the 50% retracement, which is below this, between this and here. So if you now merge the two, so that means that if I go by the fall from up here to this place, if you sell there, okay, before it gets to even the take profits, the major take profit here, you want to start warming up. Any signals to buy around here and around here would be ideal to go in for a bullish ride. Okay, so that's the much. So we want to perhaps look out for signals in our trading rooms and see what you can make of that. And then finally, we want to look at, okay, before finally, we're on gold first. On gold, so let's look at gold. Gold has recorded an all-time high in the past week, and this week it has made a new high already. Currently, gold is trading as 2587. He has never made that in the history of gold, over 5,000 years history. So gold is at 2587, and it may likely go further than this, even this morning. All right, this is Monday morning. Okay, so gold is already trading at 2587. So now let's quickly see how that will play out. So currently, on the 4 hours time frame for gold, you see at 2590.93 is a target that gold likely is going to touch. If not, if it doesn't surpass it, because if you beat this, then it goes to 2603. In fact, I see gold trying to reach 2600 this week. Okay, so if you go by what we have here currently, let's just look at this top currently, and let's use this. Gold it may surpass 2600 this week. All right, but whether it has the momentum to do that today, Monday, is what we can't tell yet. But with what's going on, if this is sustained, then gold at least will hit 2590. And so if it gets to 2590 and it breaks it, then it may head towards 2600. So just watch out for gold. Gold is really strongly bullish. And you know, in the past couple of weeks, it's been dancing and hanging around here, gathering momentum until finally it just needed the Eurozone press conference on Thursday to decide that it's time to pick up or resume the bullish stance, and he has maintained that all through. You can see all bullish all through. So what we have here now is gold attempting to go make a new high. It's already on a new high, so he wants to make a new high higher than what it has already done. So today already has recorded a new high than last week. Okay, so let's watch out for what happens with gold touch 250. So you need to open your eyes to operate gold on the bullish basis. So if there's a rejection around here, gold coming down will just be a retracement, and you want to watch out. Okay, you want to watch out to see where you can. Okay, let's even see if we, assuming it doesn't cross here, which I doubt. Let's even use what's going on here. So at 2537 50% retracement, gold might likely, will it even get as low as this week? Anything can happen. So just watch out for it there. So here now, question is, should I buy? Well, I won't recommend that right now. Okay, I think at this point now, you just want to watch. Let's observe and see whether there could be, because based on our strategy, we have to wait and see if gold will give us opportunity to ride in this new trend or newfound strength. Okay, so we'll be waiting around these areas. This first off, we're looking at 2549, which is where you have the weekly pivot points, and then coming down to 50%, which is at 2537. So we'll look out for that. Of course, another place is 2525, but I am in doubt if gold will fall as low as gold coming to this place this week. But then anything can happen in any case. So this is the market for you. All right, so that's for gold. Okay, so then we move on to Bitcoin, and we use that to just as a yardstick so that we can now go ahead and wrap this up. So for Bitcoin this week, we already have Let me bring out the weekly Bitcoin chart. Okay, so uh, last week, gold, Bitcoin rather, is the digital gold anyway. Bitcoin recorded an engulfing, a bullish engulfing, and of course, you can see that everything is still bullish for Bitcoin. So the pullback that is happening here now perhaps could be an indication. In fact, in the crypto community, it's like everyone is wishing and hoping and praying that Bitcoin, shoots to the moon. All right, so and we hope it has happened. So with what we have currently, Bitcoin may just be pulling back to make a new high. Okay, and we'll look forward to what happens. So you can now be looking forward to, can Bitcoin record this all-time high? I mean, attempt all this all-time high. But then before you can do that, you can see the channel that's formed around there. You can see that channel. So most probably we will see a situation here. Okay, so here is still serving as a support, even though tilting downwards. So we may see Bitcoin attempting to reach up somewhere around there, which is around 67,000. Is it possible? Of course, anything is possible in the market. So Bitcoin may touch that place, and you want to really, really watch out for it. And also, also Also, you can see here, let's look at even PEPE coin. PEPE that follows GBP around is also repeating what GBP, GBP, that follows what's it called now, Bitcoin around. It appears to be repeating what Bitcoin is doing also. It's retracing around that point, but let's put it on a daily time frame. I think here, what did we even do here? What we did here was we did this is weekly. Yeah, okay, weekly. So let's even check it on weekly first, so that we can also form the bias there. So if you would want to check that out, though I didn't mention this in the beginning, but then I just felt to, okay, let's delete this. Okay, now, okay. So if you look at this on a weekly basis too, Pepe coin has also recorded a higher high in the previous week. So an indication to me that it's also likely going to retest the high of last week and probably beat it if all things go the way Bitcoin is warming up to do. Okay. And of course, so that's the way you want to look at it. But if you look at the structure on the on a daily basis here, if you look at this structure here, you will see that it's pretty bearish. It's bearish. It's bearish. So, but then watch out to see what happens. In anything can happen in this market. So, we are going to be looking at a Bitcoin that will determine the direction of the entire crypto move for those crypto that follow Bitcoin. But then you may want to consider other altcoins that may be going the other way on Bitcoin against Bitcoin that's inversely correlated, and see what you can do. Okay, so this is the much we can take today. Okay, and for Bitcoin, quickly, let's see if we can uh, make some inference here and see. Let's see whether we can just put Fibonacci to work here. This is still so clustered, but let's look at it from here. Okay, so if we go by that bullish stance, we may likely see Bitcoin dropping to 50% at 56,000, which is where a buy could happen. But if you want to look at it the other way, then we want to consider from here all the way up here, and that tells us that Bitcoin already at 50%, which is 58,000 here, is already good for a sell. As a matter of fact, it already reached 32%, 38.2% up here already last week, and so it's good for a sell and may likely drop all the way to 32 to 52,000, which is the low it hit 2 weeks ago. All right, will that happen? We'll watch out to see. So you just want to be following the news as the news unfolds. You know that in the past week, the Trump Kamala interview also affected people somehow, though more of the Trump altcoin, where it was it triggered a big sell-off. But then let's watch out and see what to expect this week. All right, so I want to wish you, on behalf of the Pipsoclock team, a very profitable trading week. Watch out for our trading signals and let's trade to win. Thank you and God bless you.